We always hear that Google is one of the greatest places to work, but it seems that their free meals, their on-demand cars, and their laundry service aren't enough to keep employees around that long. The median worker at Google only sticks around for 1.1 years, ranking at number 4 on the list of companies with the least loyal employees. This data comes from the compensation information company PayScale. Let's take a look at 3 companies that top the list. We'll take number 2. This is a tie between insurance company Aflac and the next one, which is another online retailer, Amazon.com, with a median employee tenure of just 1 year each. And let's go to number 1, MassMutual Life Insurance, with a median employee tenure of only about 9.5 months. The rankings of America's largest companies were based on tenure information obtained from 250,000 employee interviews. Zach, so it sounds like the perks don't necessarily keep people around.
I mean, it depends. The thing to remember about perks, about benefits, about, this is true for healthcare, all sorts of other things that come with, with a good middle class job, is that they're all just different forms of compensation. And I actually tend to think that the fun workplace perks actually have a bigger effect than other sorts of more explicitly financial perks, because people just enjoy being in the workplace more. If you come into the office and it's fun, you can't really, it's difficult to quantify that experience, and people just tend to like doing things that they think are fun. But Google's in an industry where people move around a lot. I mean, all of these big tech companies, at every level of Google's business, you are dealing with tech workers who are constantly shuffling between different companies, who are changing career paths all the time. You might be really great in the advertising business at Google, and then say maybe want to go be the CEO of AOL.com, for instance.
I was going to say, Zach, I don't know that this high turnover is necessarily a negative. I think, maybe it could be a springboard, as you were saying, to doing something else that they want to try.
Right. And if you look at these other companies that are on the list, I mean, Amazon, also a tech company, but also a company that has a lot of warehouse workers. And, our own Dave Jamieson has done a lot of great reporting on what it's like to work in an Amazon warehouse. I can think of a lot of reasons why you wouldn't want to stay there longer than a year. The hours are long, the working conditions are pretty rough, and the pay's not that great. But other people at Amazon are just like, very similar to Google workers, very similar to AOL workers, people who are, in a skilled profession and don't feel a whole lot of loyalty to a particular company, and having a lot of turnover means there are new ideas and different types of things that that are coming into the company at any given time. I think typically a year or less is really you're actually getting to the point where workers are learning the ropes and then leaving. So that's not ideal. But even look at a company like MassMutual. I mean, that's a financial company, but they have a very specialized niche of the financial markets, in that they mostly do. I mean, they do life insurance, but they also run mutual funds. Basically, it's not a place to go if you want to be like a really crazy, high-flying Wall Street trader. And so, if you want to get into finance and do something else, I mean, it's a great place to have a steady job and then move on to something else. I think for a lot of these companies, being on this list doesn't mean that they're necessarily bad employers. It just means that they're in a type of business where there's a lot of turnover.
I think that's exactly right.